Anatomy of a deadlift, we're going to start off with the very basics. Now this is a complicated movement, and this is going to be a very thorough movie video for you to make sure that you're doing it right. Now we're doing this with a barbell, so I'm going to instruct it as if we're doing a barbell. Barbell is very advanced. You should be starting it with the dumbbell, but let's go with the barbell. There are two different ways, there's actually 3 different ways that we can hold it. I'm going to show you the 2 that you're most likely going to come across. When you start out with a barbell, just take both hands overhand. It just means the palms are going to be facing the body. You're going to reach down and you're going to grab that like so. Now your thumb's going to wrap around one side of the barbell, the hand's going to wrap around the other. You're just going to hold on to it. The problem with this one is when you start upping your weight, going into really heavy weights, it's going to have a tendency to want to roll out of your hand. So the next move, which I emphatically use, is a mixed. It's an overhand and an underhand, just like so. So same sort of setup. You're going to reach down, you're going to grab onto that barbell like so. All right. So that's the grip. You're going to walk up to the barbell, and this is critical. You can't really see it right here, but you want the bar to be right on top of those shins. You want to scrape those shins. You should be able to feel it on top of the barbell. Now, you're also going to find on all the barbells, you want to make sure that you're centered in between it. So what do I normally do is I walk up the neural part, the little diamond grip where it's all real rough and full of friction. I walk up to right where it meets the smooth portion of the barbell. That's where I stand. Now, it's going to matter for you. You're going to find out what's going to work best for you, whether you need to go a little bit wider, and again from this side, whether you need to go a little bit wider, whether you're going to go with what is neutral for me or normal for my conventional deadlift, which is just like so. Now remember, we're always going to space those toes out a little bit more the wider we go. So if we're going into a sumo, we should be out at like 2 and 10. If we're going to be bringing into neutral, they should be facing almost straight ahead. You're going to kind of push those knees out just a little bit as you get into that deadlift position, and even more so if your feet are even wider. So you're going to walk up to the barbell like so, and I take that overhand grip. Now, you want to brace the entire trunk, and you're going to push into those hips. This is one of the biggest problems that people abuse or people see whenever they do the deadlift is they're way too squat heavy. They do this deadlift where the knees come way forward, and this is basically just a squat. Put the barbell here, and that's a squat, right? So we don't want that. This is a very hip-dominant movement. I'm going to walk up to the barbell, and I'm going to push the butt back first. Now I'm going to keep that chest kind of facing forward as best as possible, maintaining a neutral back. It's very critical with this one, and my eyesight's going to be forward, but my chin is going to be more packed. All right, that's what I'm ideally looking for. So I'm looking forward here, but I'm not looking up towards that ceiling, because that's going to inevitably lead to some weakness and loss of energy through the posterior chain, because this is a very posterior chain movement. Walk up to the barbell. I'm going to set in that position. Now, when I get down, when I grab that dumbbell or the barbells, then I'm going to explode, driving those heels into the ground. So as soon as I get down in that position, that's when I initiate. I don't wait 2 seconds, 3 seconds, 4 seconds. I'm going to bring it down, brace, and boom, pop it up. Hips move front to back. Boom, like so. Push that butt back where the knees are going to be more over those shoelaces. All right, like so. Now you'll see that the knee does come a little bit over that barbell. For a conventional deadlift, that's going to be normal. Then we're going to lead through the chest and follow through with the hips. All right? The reason being, again, one of the biggest problems, and you see this on all sorts of YouTube epic fails, is rounding the back. So we're going into here, and then boom, inevitably we're here. We're no longer leading with that chest. All right? Cave that. It's lots of damage going to the spine. We've got to be careful with that movement. All right? So push into the butt. I'm going to grab down. Opposite hands. Thrust those hips. You're going to push those heels into the ground. So chest first, looking it forward at all times, eyesight forward, push through those hips by driving those heels into the ground, and at the top end here, what we don't want is this, all right? We should never be seeing rib flare. We're going to squeeze the butt, boom, squeeze that butt as hard as we can, and then push it back into those hips. If we're right against the wall, and I'll leave you some links on some great beginners to learn that hip hinge, but if we're against the wall, we should be touching that butt to that wall, all right? So, a couple of quick demos. Bring it down, overhand grip. As you see, as we go through it, barbells right along the thigh, all right? Should be scraping through it. I almost want to be pulling it into my legs and shifting that weight back, keeping the weight back there, but squeezing the butt up the top. This is a great run through. Breathe on a very complicated movement to really hammer out some of the basics that we tend to see. So drive through the heel to follow up. Drive through the heel, chest, lead with the chest facing forward, follow through with the hips. Driving those heels on the ground is going to emphasize more of that posterior chain because this is a glute and hamstring movement. We want to make sure weight is back, eyesight stays forward, but chin stays packed, and set the spine all the way through. It's a great movement. Now, what are you going to do when you're doing with the barbell? The only difference is the neutral grip. For a barbell, I just like to hold it with the palms facing each other. So I'm going to hold those dumbbells like so. Same movement. And with the dumbbell, I like to try to make sure that my hands are right next to my shins so that the barbell plates are actually going to be on either side. So it's going to be like so. Boom. From a side view. Boom. Right about here. All right. That's the only difference with a dumbbell. And you should be starting with the dumbbells way before you work into the barbells. This is Coach with Lift Fitness with your anatomy of a deadlift.